Manchester City 1, Chelsea 1. A failure by Pep Guardiola's standards. Huge, massive points dropped in the title race. An advantage to Liverpool. A slight advantage to Arsenal. And what has been an epic, epic day in Premier League football. And just as I said on our breakfast show on Rumble, the squad, just as I stated yesterday afternoon on Straight Facts with the Don Hussam, too many people were writing Chelsea off in this game. Too many people were talking as though this was just an absolute formality in many ways. And I don't like to look at football through that lens in every occurrence. I felt that if Chelsea applied themselves, I felt that if Chelsea defended well, I felt that if Chelsea had a game plan, played individuals in their correct positions, they would have a chance. I wasn't completely right. I went for a 2-2 draw, but it ended up 1-1 on the day. I thought the only element today that Chelsea really got wrong, I think they went a little bit too defensive, or you could use the word negative, a little too early in the match. I don't think the Chalobah substitution should have happened at that point. They stopped there from being an outlet. Cole Palmer coming off, I personally thought was the wrong decision. They conceded, but you've got to give Chelsea credit. They didn't capitulate. They didn't then fall apart and suddenly concede a second and throw it away. This is a big point for Chelsea. Away at Manchester City, it's a hard place to get anything, but it's a much bigger draw for Liverpool. It is a much bigger draw for Arsenal, both of which had stellar performances today against Burnley and Brentford, respectively. And City will feel disappointed. As much as there's some quality players in this Chelsea team, they are 10th. They were 11th place when kickoff happened. They're a mid-table side. The majority of the bigger teams have fared well against them at home this year. To struggle to break them down, to start to feel that pressure against them, I think will be an embarrassing day for Manchester City fans. And I'm not taking anything away from Chelsea at all. Chelsea really did deserve a point in this game, in my humble opinion, but City would have gone into this thinking they should get it done. However, I think that preview of the show, that notion that City were going to walk this game, that it was going to be easy, that Chelsea had no business even being there, that attitude leads to complacency even within the best teams in the world. And I do think there was a bit of complacency from Man City. I do think Man City went into this game and didn't respect Chelsea enough. I don't think they looked at Chelsea in the build-up to this game all week and thought, we have got to be on our A game. This is Chelsea Football Club with Enzo, Caicedo, Raheem Sterling, Palmer. They could hurt us. They could damage our title hopes. I think Chelsea's visit was treated with disrespect. It was treated as though it was Burnley, as though it was Sheffield United or Everton, a small or struggling club coming to town. And yes, Chelsea have struggled at times this season, but they have the quality to punish you, especially if you're not on it 100%. And Manchester City's arrogance and complacency today was punished. And I thought you saw that complacency as they couldn't wake themselves up. And yes, they scored a very good goal to equalize late on, a thunderous strike from Rodri. But the chances missed by Erling Haaland today were an embarrassment. Some of them were so simplistic for a man of his quality. But if you're going into a game underprepared, if you're going into a game thinking this is going to be easy, you're not sharp, you're not ready. I remember being at World Championships when I was younger, and a friend of mine had his first round fight. And he was up against a guy that he could beat in his sleep. And he didn't, when he stepped onto the mats in front of the Team GB coaches, they sent him away. They said, you're not ready. Our coach had a rule, you had to turn up sweating. So you had to be warmed up to a point where they knew you were ready to go in there and fight straight away. You turned up looking a bit too cold, a little bit too stiff. They sent you away. Their view was you're disrespecting your opponent to a point where we won't even let you compete. And I loved it. It was a great lesson for me to learn as as a child then, but as a very young person. And it stuck with me the whole of my life. You take every game seriously, every moment seriously. You do not underestimate anybody at any point, because you can become a cropper when you start to disrespect people. And I said all week, I felt that was going to creep into the dressing room. Now, that's taking nothing away from the fantastic defending that Chelsea demonstrated at times. So Disasi today had some amazing moments. Gusto on that right-hand side was absolutely brilliant. Midfield-wise, yes, they got passed through, but City passed through everybody pretty much. They still resolute. They stuck in. When they had to sit deep, they were a great shield. They really were. And I don't want to take anything away from Chelsea, but I do look at Man City and think if they hadn't have disrespected Chelsea this much, they would have gone and got the victory. But I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on the game today, people. Do me a favor and hit the like button. Please make sure you are subscribing as well to the Football Terrace. Important to us that you get that done. The non-penalty calls is a makeup for the Man United call. I don't really think City deserved any penalties today. There was a handball towards the end that's not a penalty. There was a little bit of shirt pulling, but they're not penalties. Both depends when you start looking at the video footage. Both players pulling on each other, you shouldn't be giving them. I think Manchester City should feel lucky today they didn't receive more yellow cards. The sarcastic clapping from Diaz, the break dancing from Kyle Walker when he was not given a penalty that was not a penalty. How these situations were not met with yellow cards, which, by the way, changes the game. If you've suddenly got defenders that are booked for dissent and they're being counted upon, it changes how hard they can tackle. It changes their positioning. It changes every single element of the game. You also see Bernardo Silva getting booked towards the end and then moaning consistently at the ref. Where was the second yellow card? We've seen that precedent set already. So I think if Man City fans are going to complain about any refereeing decisions today, they have to hold their hands up and admit they were lucky not to have 3 or 4 players today booked for dissent and unsporting-like conduct on the field of play. Cooler here says, when will we see the City ain't winning the Champions League or Premier League? Look, I'm not writing City off. They're still, for me, at this moment in time, the favourites. It's becoming more and more marginal. There's a 4-point gap now with Liverpool. Yes, there's a game in hand, but they have to win that. They do, there'll be a point. I think with a points gap, I would still make them the marginal favourites at this point. However, what today has demonstrated, this notion that they were going to win 15 plus games on the bounce, hasn't happened. It now can't happen. They can't win 15 games now this season on the bounce because there's not 15 games remaining for them. I think it demonstrates that they can drop points even at home. I think it demonstrates where the weaknesses in City lie on the counter-attack. But none of that stops them from being the favourites of winning it. So I think to do a video or to say that's it, 100% Chelsea are not winning it is wrong. To suggest that Liverpool will or Arsenal will is not wrong either. But completely writing Man City off is crazy. But that's is typically now what people do. If you say if a Liverpool fan says I think we'll win the league, oh, you say Man City are rubbish. It's crazy talk. I'm sorry, but I've seen this from Chelsea and Poch too often. Poch doesn't play to win; he plays not to lose. We're going to stay mid-table this way. Look, I understand that from a Chelsea perspective. Me and my brother were watching the second half, and as soon as Trevor Chalobah come on, both looked at each other and went, it's too negative too soon. You've taken the sort of caveat between the midfield and the attack off in Cole Palmer. You took the goal scorer off Raheem Sterling, and you essentially said, we're going to sit in now for 20 minutes, including injury time, and try and ride this out. And I think that move encouraged City even more. Now, you may have conceded 1, you may have conceded 2 if you hadn't made that change. But I thought it just gave City that extra encouragement they needed. Chelsea would have won the game had it not been for those poor subs. I'm an Arsenal fan and I'm pissed for Chelsea. This is on Poch, not the team. No, I think that's really fair, Stephanie. I think that it was a massive, massive mistake from Poch to bring on Trevor Chalobah when he did. Thought it was going to be a 6-0, 4-1, 3-1, 4-0 to City. Everyone was saying. Yeah, Nav, again, you know, if you watch the top 6 straight facts, and if you watch our show on Rumbles that comes out every Saturday morning exclusively on Rumble, you'd have seen me. I was predicting a draw. And a lot of people in the comments were saying I was crazy and I was a hater. And it's not about hating on City. It's just that continual pattern which gets ignored by the majority of the football masses. Whenever there is a game like this, and there's one team that's picked as the out winner, and they're going to win by a country mile. And don't you dare suggest Chelsea could muster up anything of a fight. As soon as I start hearing that from the media, from the radio stations, the written press, television press, pundits, fans, social media, as soon as you hear it from all those avenues, my instinct is to say there's going to be a shock. Because it's always that game that throws up the shock, or it feels like it's always that game. So, yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Well defended, so well for 18 minutes, heartbreaking. Yeah, I can get that feeling. There'll be a heartbreaking feeling amongst Chelsea fans. I get that. I was hearing Haaland is better than Højlund. Don't do that. Don't do that. He was awful today, Haaland. He was absolutely shocking today. City are lucky to get a point. Fair play, Chelsea. You could say lucky. I mean, they had 28 shots on goal. How many were on target? I mean, they had only 5 on target, though. Chelsea actually had more shots on target. So I do think it's fair to say there was an element of luck there. At the same time, if Haaland did have his shooting boots on today, it could have been a very different story. But I think Chelsea fans should be very, very happy with what they got. Kieran here says, told you last week we would get something up the Chelsea. Don't tell me they're not playing for Poch. Disasi masterclass. Oh, look, they're playing for Poch. I think that's very, very fair to say indeed, Kieran. I really appreciate that super chat, buddy. Fans who thought City wouldn't drop points, mudded. Yeah, I just... You're not watching. City have got a great history. City are the favourites to win the league. But the analysis I'm hearing of there's no point talking about a title race because City are just going to win it. I think that's people that are worried about Liverpool or Arsenal winning it, or it's for the weak-minded. It's not for the football terrace community. A long way to go. We are not panicking yet. There's nothing for City fans to panic about. Absolutely nothing for you all to be overly worried about, to be panicking about whatsoever. City were lucky to still be in sights with Chelsea's multiple sitters missed. Gutted Poch took all the pace off and gave us no outlet, and Kunku isolated. I agree with the second part. There were some really good opportunities, but there was some good defending from City. Ederson in goal, some great saves. Could have been 2-0 very early on in the second half, and that would have really changed the complexity of this game and the title race even more. How good was Gusto tonight? My word, made Doku look Sunday League. I think Gusto is really good. I think right back's his place. For me, if I was a Chelsea fan, I would be frustrated if Reece James comes back and goes straight into the team. I think Gusto has proven he's a Premier League player. He's been one of the shining lights of Chelsea this year in what has been a very dull season. And I think he deserves an opportunity to play more. There's no doubt. But City don't drop points in the business end. What happened, Terry? We've been getting grilled all week for thinking they won't win tonight. It's crazy. It's just crazy to think they were not going to drop any points in this run-in. I don't know who has created this notion. They've dropped points between February and May in every single season under Pep. City have definitely dropped points. So this notion they were not going to do it this year is weird. Terry, you are basing your analysis on last season. This season, it's been obvious that Arsenal and Liverpool are better. Watch Arsenal batter this lot. Vermouth. Well, I'm basing it on last season and this year. I'm basing, it's a combination. Arsenal can beat City at the Etihad. Arsenal can win this league. Liverpool can beat City at Anfield, and Liverpool can win this league. City are just still, for me, my marginal favourites. But it's getting closer and closer between them all. I want Arsenal to play City soon. We will beat them. Listen, Arsenal got a chance. If they defend well and counter with precision, there's a chance. Right now, City might fix it in 4 or 5 games' time, but right now, counter-attacks against Manchester City is their kryptonite. It's their kryptonite, and they got caught on the jaw tonight. They got Mayweathered. Up until Potts decided to bring on Trevor Chalobah anyway. And then it all she wrote. Rodri with a jammy deflection goal. Yeah, it was going in anyway, wasn't it? It was going in. Let's have it right. That shot was going in, to be fair. How is Gusto 20? Utter baller, but defends so well. It's because he's a defender. I think we've been indoctrinated to looking at fullbacks as midfielders and not worrying about their defensive attributes. He's quality. Foden is another with another disappearing act. Saka is clear, as what's been said here. Yeah, it's an interesting week, isn't it? It's an interesting week for that with what Rio said. But no, Foden's class. We know he is. Going to bring the panel out now to have their say on the show. We've got Matt. We've got Sai, who's a City fan. We've got V, who's a City fan. Stragbour Steve is here. Man like Don is also backstage as well. But make sure like buttons have been hit, if not done so already. Make sure you are subscribing to the Football Terrace as well. Time to bring out the panel now to have their say on this epic game on this Saturday evening. Welcome back to the show, guys. Don, I'm going to go to you first, bro. Everyone wrote Chelsea off, but you walk away with an honourable point from Man City for the second time this season.
Yeah. Listen, I'm happy with the overall performance, man. I think for me, Poch went a little bit too defensive way too early, in my opinion. But apart from that, in the first half, I was happy with how he played, man. And a big part of that is how we will set up Terry. You know, I wasn't seeing Enzo running away from Caicedo today. I was seeing Enzo getting stuck in off the ball, winning the ball back. You know, when he got in possession of the ball, he would pop it off. You know, I've seen a lot of combinations between him, Gallagher and Caicedo in midfield again, because they're very close to each other. You know what I mean? At the back, we looked really balanced. You had Ben Chilwell at left back. Obviously, Levi Cole is now playing at left centre back because Silva's injured. And Disasi, bro, he stepped up and he was the leader today. But I'm not surprised because me and Jem, we speak in the group chat, the Chelsea group chat. And I was saying to these guys, when Silva's not available, Disasi steps up. Like, Disasi's not a young player. You know what I mean? And today, he showed that leadership to allow Levi to, you know, be comfortable in that position today. Because if you looked at Levi Cole today, Terry, he was just playing what he was seeing. He wasn't dilly-dallying like Silva. Every time Sterling would come into the half space, he'd play it into him. When Gallagher would go into there, he'd play it into him. It was quick today, and that's why I was able to get the chances that we did against Man City. But in the end, like I said, we went a little bit, you know, too negative. There was no one supporting Nkunku. I don't like Nkunku playing up front, let alone as a lone striker. And today, he just had no support. You know, taking off Cole Palmer, where's the creativity now? It's long in there. Do you know what I'm saying? But listen, we held on it at the end because me, before the game, I wasn't confident because of Poch. But overall, I was happy with the lineup. I was happy with the setup. But the in-game management could have been better. That's the only thing that let him down. But, you know, I'll take that draw because everyone thought we'd get smoked. So I'll take the point.
Yeah, you certainly will. I mean, bringing on Trevor Chalobah when he did with sort of 15, 20 minutes to go and taking off all your kind of attacking outlets. That I was a bit disappointed watching because I thought there was another goal in Chelsea, to be honest with you, on the counter, but you sort of took that option away.
Yeah, exactly. We should have carried on playing our game. I'd rather we lose playing our game than, you know, sit back and just get scared because look how much time City had to attack us the way they did. They brought on Silva. They were getting in the box. In the first half, I wasn't seeing City in our box. You know, in the second half, Doku, he was, you know, up against Gusto, who did a good job, but he was creating problems on that side. You know, KDB was whipping in some passes. Foden, you know, he kept playing the ball forward as well. So it just looked like they had a lot more attacking intent, and we were just sitting back. And there's only so long you can keep defending like that against a Man City. And look what happened. Rodri, again, stepping up in another big moment. So it was a little bit too early, Terry, man. We should have just, you know, he should have been a little bit braver, allowed the guys to play their game like they were in the first half. And then towards the end, when guys start to gas out and people get tired, that's when you start to change things. Do you know what I mean? To see out the game. But that was just the wrong decision to do that early, man. Even Palmer, he just looked, he didn't look tired. He just looked like, what's going on when he took him off? You know what I mean? So we move.
Yeah,
you
haven't got a game midweek, have you?
Nah, we don't.
No, yeah, so no game midweek. Yeah, I agree. I thought that, I mean, hindsight's lucrative. You might have kept your attacking players on and lost the game, and then it would have been, why didn't we go defensive? But I thought you encouraged them so much. V's with us. Obviously, V's a City fan. But you're playing a team 10th in the league or 11th when the game kicked off. Haaland had a disaster class today. You had players diving and descending. Huge points dropped in this title race. And a big advantage now for Liverpool and a slight advantage for Arsenal. How disappointed were you with your team performance tonight?
You know, I got to say this first and foremost. Poch, I think he managed and coached a very good game. Like, I'm not going to, I mean, I get it. Chelsea fans are going to second guess him. Many of you want him out. But I think today, I think he showed why he needs to remain here, why he needs to remain at Chelsea and continue to figure things out and know which players are going to play for the club. But today, I think we didn't have our shooting boots. And we played against the Pride of London. I'll be honest. I played against the Pride of London today. They showed why they've had the success over the years, and they also showed why they can't be slept on. Like, despite where they are in the standings, we know the quality of the players that they have. We know the quality of the manager. And I think they stepped up the same way they did when they played us the first time. It was 4-4. I was disappointed with the draw. It's 1-1, and I'm disappointed in another draw. But it's a case where I'm not stressed, not panicked. I'm disappointed, but I'm not stressed because I've always said this. The congested fixtures is going to play its part. It's played its part today on City, right? We had Champions League early in the week. We're now followed up with this game. Now, how will that affect Liverpool and Arsenal? We'll wait and see. But I think all of us are going to drop points. I'm not panicking. I'm disappointed. I wish Haaland, my man is human after all. He's human after all. He did not have his shooting boots or his shooting forehead today because a lot of those headers were like complete misses. And I don't think we'll do that on the regular. And the Alvarez... in my opinion, the Alvarez substitution should happen a little sooner. I get it, Pep. You got to manage Bernardo Silva because of what happened in Champions League. He took a little knock. You probably didn't want to play him today. But once we saw how Chelsea and Poch were set up, we needed a change. And I think Alvarez was that change that we needed off the pitch.
I hear you on that.
And I got to say this, sorry.
Right.
Ederson saved us today. He saved us today. Thank goodness. Because easily, like you said, it could have been 2-0. It could have been at least 3-1 in the stage of this game. So thank you, Ederson. I'm walking away with a point.
I want to ask a side question from a City point, from a City kind of perspective there. I think that's your fourth or fifth game in the last 9 where you've conceded first or you've gone in at halftime losing. You can't be looking, even with your powers at City, this isn't a sustainable way of playing at the moment, is it? Conceding that amount of goals and that amount on the counter.
No, it's not. But today I would say it was more about our starting 11 than I think that Chelsea did a good job. But our starting 11 today, when I saw it, I knew there would be problems. That midfield, when Akanji is inverting, and we have Alvarez, it just doesn't work. When we played them at the bridge and it went, when the result was 4-4, the lack of control was what kind of cost us there. So when I saw this midfield again today, I knew it will be a difficult game where they would hit us on the counters and we wouldn't really have the control or creativity from the midfield. So I think we will be fine when we get Stones in the defense, so he can invert. That just brings so much stability, and I think that will cut out the silly goals that we concede. And Walker's action for the goal was just not okay. I mean, that's a rookie mistake, running across the pitch to help Diaz and leaving your man, and then have to make up for it, and he doesn't follow Sterling out to the left for his weak foot. I've never seen Sterling score with his left foot. Like, he goes way too hard in for that. So yeah, I'm a bit gutted, like a lot. V is very positive. I'm gutted. Yeah.
Yeah, V's pretending. V's
no,
pretending.
Listen,
V's
Terry,
not being real.
No, you're not going to do this. You're not going to do this. I'm not pretending. The thing is, I've seen this and I've dealt with it. That's what I'm experiencing right now. Am I disappointed? 100%. I wanted to win. I was confident. I predicted 2-1, 3-1. I knew it was going to be a battle. But how we played today, I think we carried over the midweek game. And I'm disappointed with how the players played. I actually thought, now, if I'm gonna be critical of Pep, right? I thought Doku was a little too isolated on that left-hand side. I know you're trusting him to beat a man, get into the box and attack and either square a ball. But at many times I thought with what Cole Palmer did today, doubling up on him, I thought, listen, you got to switch it. And even at times he looked leggy. He looked tired. Maybe get Oscar Bob out there, get a change up. But listen, I know that Liverpool and Arsenal aren't going to go undefeated, complete wins for the remainder of this run. So we had our slip. Am I expecting them not to have a slip? Of course not. They'll slip.
No,
so that's why if you want to say I'm positive, that's why I'm positive.
But us going to Anfield needing a win is putting unnecessary pressure on us.
Why do we need a win? Why are we going to need to win
At the
then?
moment, we would need to win.
Yes. Okay. At the moment.
Yeah. And we play them in 3 weeks' time. So you have to win your home games when you're in a title race like this. You have to, especially when you have Arsenal winning 5-0 and Liverpool 4-1 early in the day. You have to win this. And I think Pep went wrong with the lineup. And yeah, I think, and Haaland, of course, like, oh,
you know what I want
Lord.
most important. You know what I'm most positive about leaving this game is that not one player left there with an in-game injury. Let's see whether they have a knock or anything like that after the fact. But I'm glad that no player had to come off that pitch injured. Because listen, we're going to need fit bodies to make this happen. With the run that's going to happen with Liverpool and Arsenal, it's going to be a matter of who's going to be fittest to go through this. Because I'm playing for the Champions League, the FA, and the league. Right? Arsenal are playing for Champions League and the league. I don't know whether Liverpool fans want all four that they're in. Obviously, they're in the final for the League Cup. I don't know if they want FA. I don't know if they want Europa. We know that they want the league. But when I know that I'm playing for all those, I need my guys healthy.
Can I just say,
Vader. Not too long ago, the last week or the week before, on your girls' channel, you said we're big teams. We can't be using excuses.
Who's saying an excuse, Rax?
Well, you're saying you need
to clear
those earbuds. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just using your words against you.
I did not once say excuse. I did not once say that that's going to be the reason for any failure. I'm saying I'm glad that my players are healthy. Take out those earbuds, wipe them down, cotton swab, wipe them down, and put them back in because you did not hear me give an excuse.
Can I just say,
from what you said?
From a rival's perspective, and Rack might agree with me on this, he might not, I don't know. But watching that, I'm quite encouraged. I'm quite encouraged that we can go to the Etihad and get a result. Because I haven't seen a Pep Guardiola Man City side this vulnerable defensively. And when I say vulnerable, I mean it like, as in, you can be exposed. Chelsea exposed you tonight. Even before they scored the goal, they should have had two. Yep. You know, Nicholas Jackson should have scored. Sterling should have scored earlier on, even before he scored the goal. And I look at that Man City team, and yeah, they're great. They're exceptional. They control the ball. They control the majority of the game. They create a hell of a lot of chances in front of goal. But defensively, I ain't seen you this vulnerable since Pep Guardiola joined. To be honest,
it goes back to the Stones rule.
Since he's had his player, all his players, and that anyway. But you guys look very vulnerable and shaky defensively. Every time I've watched City, and don't get it twisted, I don't watch City week in, week out. But every time I've watched City, you guys give up chances, and you know I think because of that, Liverpool and Arsenal should be encouraged. We Liverpool especially, they got to play you at Anfield. They should feel encouraged by the fact that they can take points off you. They can beat you. And then, yeah, we got to come to your ground. But, you know, the way we're playing at the moment and the way that you're defending, I don't know, you know. And
no, the confidence should be there. I agree with you.
This, right? I'm saying, although I'm saying this, City are still my favourites, by the way. I'm not writing you off or anything like that. I still think City have, out of all three teams, the most experience in winning, and they have the players that are capable of doing it.
Even after what you saw today, you're still going to say we're favorites. Even after what you saw today.
Yes, of
versus
course.
Chelsea.
Why wouldn't you be? You've won it in the last 3 years. Of course
No. I'm going based off of what you see. You talked about our form. You talked about how defensively we've been the leakiest you've seen us, but you still want to put us as favorites.
Yeah,
because
you know why? It's because you've got the quality. You've got the X Factor players as well. You've got Kevin De Bruyne. You've got Erling Haaland. They're two X Factor players that can be the difference makers and can ultimately win you the league, right? Arsenal don't necessarily have that. Liverpool have that with Mo Salah, right? But I look at it and I think that the three teams at the top, it's one thing that I'm encouraged by as an Arsenal fan is that our defence is so good this season. Right, Man City's not so much. Liverpool's, you know, you're decent, you're very good, but you also give up chances as well. So if Arsenal are going to win this league, I think our defence will have a lot to do with us winning the league. Whereas with City, I think their downfall could be their defensive issues in terms of, you know, teams creating chances against them.
But Brandon, what we did today tactically, yeah, I don't know if you realize, in that first half, bro, I was even saying in the group chat, we didn't allow you to play your game. We didn't. You know what I mean? When we had the ball, we made sure that we retained it quite well. Off the ball as well, you know, the shape was quite good. So we didn't allow you to create the chances that you usually would. But overall, I still think you're the favourites because that quality nearly won you the game in the end. If you had a little bit of, you know, quality in the final shot of a Haaland, for example, you win the game by a couple goals. I know we could have scored earlier on in the first half, but I think you score more goals if you're more clinical today. But overall, your quality should mean that you're beating 90% of the teams in this league. But like Brandon's saying, against Arsenal, bro, if they, you know, control the midfield and off the ball, like he said, defensively, they've been really good. Best team this season defensively. They could definitely get something at Etihad, 110%. Because I was even saying to Terry before the game, I said, bro, I'm not confident in the manager because I don't trust him in terms of how he's going to.
No. You need to rate the manager. You need to start rating.
Yeah, I can give him his props for today. But what I've seen overall, I've got no confidence in him. But what I did say is, if he sets us up correctly, like he did today in the first half, we have half a chance to nick something, and we did. Do you know what I'm saying? So, Brandon, I agree. Arsenal could definitely get something at Etihad, 100%.
I'm gonna say this real quick, because again, I know Rax tried to come in here with his agenda. I'm not coming out with any Listen, I'm not coming out with any excuses, but I want to point this out. If it so happens to be where Liverpool or Arsenal drop out of their cup runs, right? Let's say Arsenal no longer in the Champions League, and Klopp, because we've seen him do this, he'll prioritize, and if he chooses to prioritize the league, that's where I'm like, we're in trouble, because we're going to be playing for everything. I know that. So if either of those two clubs decide to prioritize just on the league, and we want to talk about favorites, that's where I'm a little swayed, because I know we're going to be spread a little thin. That's all I'm trying to point out.
Yeah, I'll get you on that. Hamza's here with us as well. A really poor day for City. Drop points at home to a mid-table team. Give us your thoughts, Hamza.
It's a disgrace. I don't respect Chelsea this season because we dropped 2 games. 2 games, man. Like
Hamza, they're the pride of London.
Like, it's the worst thing, like, to draw 2 games. These guys, man, these guys are nobody. Like,
they're the pride of London, Hamza.
Like, let's be honest. Why are we talking so nice about Chelsea? Be honest. Like, literally, they're a joke. They should be. Today should have been a battering. We should have won.
You're right. It should have been 2-0 up. You're right. It should have been a battering.
Today's a disgrace. Why? Because listen, that to allow Sterling first to chase Jackson. Kyle Walker's at 4. Kyle Walker's at 4 first. 2 reasons. Chase Jackson when I think Ake had him. Then he turned around. Rule in football. You know one rule. Don't allow the guy to turn towards goal. It's basic. I've seen him doing that multiple times, but he's a world-class right back. But we can't keep doing that. The thing is, I'm angry at one thing. Yeah, and you guys will say, referee Andy Madley. It's a disgrace. That guy is a disgrace. I swear.
Total deflection.
Listen, this guy will never, ever manage a Champions League final. Neither he will ever. Remember what I said to you.
How's that relevant?
You don't see this guy because he's a disgrace. I researched him. I thought, okay, I'm going to be fair. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. He's refereed, I think, 9 Liverpool games. They've never lost. They've never lost a game.
What does that have to do with relevance of today, though?
I mean, what did you say the ref had a poor game today?
Stamp is a red. Caicedo made multiple fouls. It's simple. It's a red. What are we playing here?
Hamza,
you can say the ref had a poor game.
Hamza, what about Caicedo? That was a criminal.
Yes. Okay. What about Hamza? What about all the City players that should have been booked for dissent today?
Which one? Tell me. I want to hear that.
Kyle Walker.
Hang on, guys.
Kyle Walker. Where did we see that?
Let me talk. Kyle Walker, when he appealed for the penalty and got told no, he started breakdancing out of anger, 100%. You had Diaz, who sarcastically clapped at the referee. Bernardo Silva was booked and then started moaning at the ref. 2 of your players, Rodri, and KDB, were waving imaginary cards at him. They all should have got yellow cards for that. So let's not sit here and pretend.
See, you look at every point you're looking for us to be sent off, every yellow card. But it's a mockery. He was a disgrace.
That's what you Hamza.
You've got back into the referee's records.
No,
You've gone back into the referee.
Hamza, guys. Hamza, stop a minute, mate. Stop a minute. Sorry, mate. You've just sat there and focused on all the things that Chelsea got go their way. You've done exactly the same thing.
But those are in-game fouls, Terry, not dissent.
Okay, so in-game fouls, there is a subjectivity to them. Dissent and waving imaginary cards, they're an objective. They're an objective situation. Rolling around like a baby on the floor, sarcastically clapping and showing imaginary cards.
I would clap.
It's an instant yellow card. So let's just say the referee. I agree. Hamza, the referee had a bad game, but some of those bad decisions benefit. Hamza,
Terry, I have a right. I have a right to get justice.
You don't have a right to gaslight us.
Terry, why do I not get justice every single? Why do Man City every single time I get cheated?
I'm just warming up the violin, guys. Just warming up the violin.
He led to scoring the goal. One second. Don't. I remember things. Tottenham. The referee allows the game to play on, and then he sees, oh no, the guy's gonna score.
Hamza, can I stop you? I need to stop you for one moment, Hamza. Hamza.
You never get cheated.
Hamza, guys, please, guys. Hamza. So, first question. Are you the only team to have decisions go against you this year? Yes or no?
We're the major ones. Number one.
Okay.
Number one.
What about when Rodri handballs it against Everton and it's not given? What about,
you have to remember 3 years ago. No, because we don't get favors.
Just stop a minute and let me finish speaking, please. There's that. There's the goal against Aston Villa where you were 35 yards offside as an example. There's multiple. What about Liverpool's second goal? No, sorry, that was them against you this year, to be fair. That's actually on you guys. But my thing is, for you to sit there and pretend that you get nothing go your way and it's only Man City that get hurt is crazy.
My second goal against, I forgot that. Look how many happened, so many. Second goal against Liverpool, Ruben Dias goal. Disallowed.
Hamza.
Why do you think Hamza?
I know why.
Hamza. Why do you think the FA and the referees are targeting Man City?
Everyone knows the media darlings of this country is Liverpool. It's a fact. I call them the media darlings. The media love them. They love Liverpool.
Did Liverpool play today?
What about the goal you scored earlier on this season where Akanji was offside and they apologized later for it?
Akanji was offside. Where?
Against Fulham.
You don't remember?
Do you remember that, Vito?
Don't play dog.
Oh, he doesn't remember it. Oh, how convenient. Doesn't
offside.
All our intelligence and everybody won.
You're making up stuff.
Akanji didn't score a goal offside.
He was just to obstruct the keeper's view. But I remember it saw from the start. But I'm not so sure that he actually obstructed the view. But Hamza, one second.
But what I'm saying is they came out and apologized and said they shouldn't have given the goal. My point is, I'm saying the referee made a mistake today, but Hamza sitting here like Man City are some sort of victims is crazy.
Terry, I think that most of us is on the same board with everyone. City doesn't get more or less against or with us. It's like equals itself out. But I will say, like, you bring up dissent and everything today, you're not bringing up the 3 different situations where there could have been a penalty. I've seen all 3 situations today been given through this season. We saw the Trossard penalty earlier today. How can the Walker incident not be a penalty? I have no idea.
Which one are you talking about?
When Walker
guys, please, everyone stop. Let's ask Sai what he's talking about. Sai, what one?
So the clearest one for me, all 3 I have seen be given earlier this season, right? But the most clear penalty was the one with Walker, where he gets in front of Sterling and Sterling kicks Walker on the leg. And then it's fouled the other way.
I'm not even going to reply to that. I'm not even going to reply. I'm not even going to. If you think that's a penalty,
The point is,
guys, when someone's in the big space, can we let them talk, please? Sorry, guys.
Hold on. What game has that been given? Because Walker literally ran into him. He pushed his body into him. It's not a penalty.
No, he puts himself in front of him.
I can't believe, right? I can't believe I'm hearing Man City.
I can't believe you're even trying to call for that.
I can't believe I'm hearing Man City fans crying about refereeing decisions, right? When you were telling me that, the majority of the things go against us. What about when Kovacic should have been sent off against us? for two bookable offences, and the referee stands there like just leaves him on the pitch. Yeah.
So-
What about a Kanji being offside for the goal and they later had to apologise? Don't come with all this crap, Hamza. And at the end of the day, right, if you want a solution to it, just pay the referee. Add it to one of your charges. Why not? Why not?
Listen.
No, don't come with this crap, Hamza. You're supposed to be this
the
big
Walker
team.
one's a penalty.
No, Hamza.
No, it's
I
not.
saw Real Madrid get it this season.
Hamza,
Real
you're
Madrid
this
got it
big
this season.
team. You're this big team, treble winning team. Yeah, won the Premier League for the last 3 seasons. Right? Don't come with this crap now because Arsenal and Liverpool.
Because you want a league title. That's what you want. You want an easy league title, but you don't want to see the justice. To you as an Arsenal fan, you want them to be against us so that you can chase us and get those points. But the problem is,
I don't think anybody in the league
don't feel there's justice for me anymore. I don't feel like watching the Premier League that I trust the referees. I don't trust them now. I can't trust the referees.
But you'll still watch. You say that, you'll still watch.
Hamza, what do the referees have to do to earn your trust?
I just want basic justice. Basic justice.
What do they have to do?
I'll give you an example. I should be able to watch a game and think, there's VAR there. There's officiating above there. Surely they're making the right decision. People being sent off makes a big deal. Caicedo, Walker one.
Kovacic.
As soon as he gets in front of him and he kicks him in the back.
Exactly. No, he doesn't kick him in the back at all.
You can't have one rule in England for Man City and everyone has another rule. If that's Liverpool, we know right. You would get that.
Embarrassing.
We will never get that. I'm telling you now. You will never feel the pain that City feel. Like the injustice we feel.
We had a decision today. We had a decision today where we didn't get a penalty as well. So, like, I understand what you're saying, but people always come out with this excuse about referees are biased and there's no justice. But decisions go for you and they go against you. You just got to live with it.
That's a lie.
Can I just say this is Hamza all the time. This is Hamza all the time and City getting negative result. He doesn't focus on his own team. He hasn't criticised Haaland at all for missing all those chances. If Jackson did that, he'd be all over him. This is Hamza to a T. He does it all the time. He's the greatest deflector in YouTube history. He does it all the time. That Walker one is not a penalty because Walker dived. He put his leg across. He was waiting to be hit. That's why it's not a penalty. Okay? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
He literally put his leg into
his leg across. A still shot won't help you. A still shot does not help. But
yeah,
honestly,
you got to play the full video.
You guys, you're not Vector, not the other guy, but Hamza. You never criticize your own team. You always look at other excuses. Okay? You always do this. You never criticize. What you should criticize, look at Pep. Why didn't he sort it out? We let off. I will blame my own manager for going 3 at the back. That's what I will blame my manager for today. We shouldn't have gone 3 at the back. But I will say this: the highest compliment I will pay to City is that going to them for me is like going to Old Trafford in the old days or Pep's Barcelona. I'm taking a point. I'm taking a point all day long. 2 hours ago, I didn't expect a point. I will take that as a bonus. No one should expect a point going to the Etihad. But you've got to look at yourself, Hamza. This is a pathetic display by you in deflection and not criticising your team. You always do this. You are so biased, and to a country that's good, but you don't have any subjectivity of anything. Anything goes against City.
Guys, we just control this for a second.
Conspiracy. Oh, the referees are against us. How can a referee be against you when you're the best team in Europe? You need to look at your own team and why they didn't play well today in front of goal, and stop looking at the ref and others for excuses. Look at yourself and your team and your players for not playing well, and don't bring this pathetic referee conspiracy theory up again. Pathetic. It's poor from you, man. I expect better from you. I really do. It's poor from you. Poor.
I hear that. I want to ask Matt about the penalty that Sai brought up here. What is your take on it? Obviously, we know he stepped in front of him. There was a nudge into the back of Raheem Sterling as well. The full footage does it more justice. Do you agree with the on-field decision that this was no penalty?
Oh, clear. I mean, if you look at this picture, you look at the still picture, you're going to think it's a pen. But the way that he pushed himself into him, it's not a pen. I don't even know why we're even arguing this. It was a quick decision by VAR as well. There's no point to even arguing. It was a clear no pen. Move on to the next one. But for me today, it was the hope that killed me. I really thought we were actually going to win that game. To be fair, I said 1-1. I put $10 to say that we wouldn't do 1-1, so I won big money back. Appreciate that. So I'm happy with the point, but I'm a bit upset that we actually couldn't have won because for me, Poch, why do you bring on Chalobah, who hasn't played all year, and a teenager's first game onto City? You've been playing Gilstrap all year. I don't know why I didn't bring him on. I don't know why I didn't bring Madueke or Mudry. I don't know why I didn't bring any of them on. For me, poor starts by Poch. Weber was saying about this manager. For me, 45 minutes, I was so happy. He was clapping. He was excited on the sideline. But then he does those subs, and I just cannot back him when he keeps doing those basic mistakes. Weber, I can't back a manager who just does not know basic managing. You don't sub on a teenager who's never played a professional game against Man City at Etihad. We could have really won that game if Palmer was still on that pitch. And Kuku by himself up front, there's no point. Just put a stick there. He needs creativity to help him score that goal. So I'm actually a bit upset that we didn't go all the way. But at the end of the day, we got a point. Weren't expecting it. Disasi's my man. Proper leader. Dom said before, without Silva, Disasi steps up. And I don't know why, but he keeps doing that. And I love it from him. Because when he's there by himself, he steps up and he pushes Colwell to do better. And he's his own hype man. When he's his own hype man, Gusto plays better. Colwell gets back in the game. Petrovic, his head's back in the game. So I love that from Disasi. Proper leader. I said from the start he could actually be our captain one day. So I stick by that. But good game, man. On to the next. Liverpool, here we come, man. I'm going to be more confident against the Liverpool game. If we get a point at Etihad, Liverpool better be scared. Yep. I think we can really,
got to set us up the same way. Got to set us up 100%. The same way against Liverpool, man. Against Liverpool, if we try playing that 4-3-3 like the way we did before, they'll just pop it around us. Today, what he did, he used the players' strengths. These guys are technical players. They want to combine with each other. And that's what we've got to do against Liverpool. Don't worry about, trying to do this rock and roll football. We ain't got the players for that. We've got to keep the exact same shape against Liverpool. Do you know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Welcome, Patty, to the stream. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, man. I'm just laughing that this guy has been gassed so much like this. Let me tell you something, Chelsea fans. I'm going to educate you. I'm not going to be a hater. Chelsea, you did this against City again. You guys always turn up against City, and somehow you Champions League, you do the same thing. Every time somebody doubts you, you always come with this performance. But let me tell you, so there's sometimes a team is tailor-made for a certain team. You guys, sometimes how you set up, let's not even forget about Pochettino with his history against Pep. He is disappointed us against Spurs, and Spurs were bad, and people expected us to win. Trust me, as good as you were today and how you were playing, you won't go to play against Liverpool and think that, all we have to do is all we did against City. No, your players, it's still a dead team. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be... I told you this last time. Some of you got pissed off when I was saying we drew with a dead team. You're going to go play against Brentford or any other team, and you're going to go back to 0.0. I'm not trying to shit on your rain. Congratulations, you played very well. But I'm just saying, don't get gassed up saying we need Liverpool. This Liverpool team, somehow, they are more attacking than us, and they've got better shooters than us. So, as much as Man City Day Haaland was missing, as much as you played good, Liverpool can actually knock and give you can actually score a lot of goals against you. Yeah, so I'm just giving. Yeah, wait. Let me just finish because I'll be gone in a minute. I'm just saying you're gassed. Congrats, but I remember you were also gassed against City when you did the 4-4. But guess what? What happened after that? You were getting slapped again. So I'm just saying, don't look at this City game because it looks like Chelsea or Pochettino somehow always finds a way against City and they always disappoint us. Because when I was doing my preview on my channel, I also said, guys, let's not get excited with these 6-0s, 5-0s. Chelsea always find a way to step up against City. Even Raheem today was working more extra hard than he does. Unfortunately, Jackson is a dead player. We understand. I think Jackson, there's no hope. Even Jesus can't help him. That's just a bad player. I've never seen such a goal.
How do you think we scored the first goal? How do you think we scored the first goal?
Forget about that, Don. That doesn't matter, apparently.
Anyway, Patrick, what you're saying, you're just doing
another deflector.
You're just what you're doing right now. You're coming with
your team, mate.
I've never been on stream with you, but I know what type of guy you are. Just from listening from what you're saying there for 2 minutes, yeah. You come with the same old script about Chelsea, and you don't want to talk about the game and break it down tactically. Because if you saw how we played against Liverpool, if we went out the same way today, Caicedo lone 6, what did I say, Terry? That preview that we did. If Caicedo plays by himself, we are going to lose worse than what West Ham did against Arsenal. I said it's going to be long for him if he's played there by himself. Today, he played Caicedo closer to Enzo, and he was helping him off the ball to win it back. And like I said, they were combining together. So you can't just keep coming here saying, you guys just managed to turn up. You got to break down the game, bro. Tactically today, he got it spot on. That's why we played like that. And that's what he's done in certain games, like Arsenal, like today, you know, like even Preston, we played very good in that game. You set us up correctly. But then when you go against United and you're setting us up the way you did, against Newcastle, setting us up the way you did, against Liverpool, you end up losing games if you don't set us up correctly. So our problem with Poch is we know this team has good players in it, but this guy hasn't been making use of them the way he should be. That's the main problem.
He made good use of Gallagher today. I actually have to give props.
And I said when teams aren't sitting back like you, man, Gallagher can work in those sort of games.
Wait a minute.
When teams are sitting back, it doesn't work that well, to be honest.
Isn't that the thing though? Let's go tactical, because I think you are also mistaking me from somebody who can't even go tactical. I do. If you watch my channel, it's quite funny because I do a lot of tactical breakdowns, but I don't really want to waste tactical breakdowns on Chelsea. I'm sorry, you've just moved to 10th again, so why should we go tactical? So okay, let's go tactical, right? I'm gonna explain. And Chelsea fans, I said this last time on another stream. You thought I was rattling you. I was just telling you, your team ain't eat right now. So you look, I know what he did. He did the same thing like last time. Let me explain. He did the same thing as last time. Conor Gallagher was sitting on Rodri, following everywhere you go. For City, for us to be beaten, you always have to sit somebody on Rodri. Even Harry Kane said it in Spurs. He said, the manager told me to just follow Rodri wherever he goes, make sure I cut the channels and everything is all good. But the thing is, those setups, my G's, when you play Brentford who are parking the bus, Conor Gallagher is useless. You're not gonna. Who is he gonna sit on at Brentford? Is he gonna sit on Tony?
And that's why you don't start him. And that's why you don't start him. That's why you play Palmer in the team. That's why you play. No. But exactly, that's the problem we've got with Poch. Spot on. You've just said it. He's been playing Gallagher.
We agree that you can perform against City like this just because sometimes it's suiting the team you're playing.
But for us, listen, you're the favourites to still win the league. And look how you haven't won against us this season. You've dropped points. Last season when you played us, you beat us 4 times last season, by the way. In the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, in the league twice as well. You beat us every time we played you. Yeah. This season you've dropped points against us because we've got better players. And the first thing you said is your players are shit.
What has happened?
Let me finish. The first thing that you said is our players are shit. Now you're saying, oh, what's Gallagher going to do against Brentford? And this is exactly what our fans have been complaining about. Gallagher's not needed in those sort of games where you need creativity, and Rodri isn't there to be dictating the game because they're just going to sit back. You've hit the nail on the head. So you made a lot of points here. But yeah, you've contradicted yourself a lot, man. So let's move on to my last Steve, man. Let's move on to Steve, man.
I didn't actually. You know what? I didn't. We actually spoke about the same thing in just a different way. But let me before I go.
No, you said our players are shit and we're not worth.
Oh no, they are.
What does that make you then? Because you didn't beat us this season.
No, wait. Let me explain that.
No, don't do that. You know,
I'll do it. He wants to talk rubbish about the team.
No.
Same team. You haven't been able to
calm down. It's okay. Calm down. It's okay.
I'm calm.
It's okay. Calm down.
Bro, you'll be happy to know that I want you guys to win the league. You're listen, Patrick. Okay. You're the lesser of 2 evils for me. Now let me just say something, Patrick. Yeah, you're the lesser of 2 evils for me, innit? Like Man City winning the league for me is better than Liverpool winning it and Arsenal winning it. I don't want Arsenal winning it.
Oh, of course.
Right? But coming to the end, I have to be honest. They've got a chance of getting something against
for the purity of football. We should win it.
Do you know right now? What's his name? What's your name?
What, Hamza? What's your name? Sorry, what did you just say? Sorry, what did you just say there? For the what of football?
For the purity of football.
You should win it for the purity of football.
Yeah.
Who defines? At least say it with some chest, Vader. At least say it with some chest. Come on.
But Terry, most people abroad, they really want City to win because we're entertaining. Most people don't like Liverpool fans. And
anybody that does, anyone that's not, no one in the world should want City to win. And it's nothing. I'll tell you as to why. Because if you guys do a 4-peat and also by some miraculous chance do a back-to-back treble, you basically can complete football. No one else is ever doing a 4-peat again. It doesn't matter who you support, Chelsea, United, Spurs, you should all be rooting for either Liverpool or Arsenal because a 4-peat damages all of us.
Even
you're never going to achieve in football. And for me,
I don't know. That's so wrong. It only damages you. It doesn't damage us.
No, it doesn't. No. I'll tell you why it damages you because you'll never do a 4-peat.
I don't care.
I don't know about never, but I don't care. It's like a 1 in a billion.
Okay. Let me rephrase that. None of us will ever see it again in our lifetime. It's taken 130 years for it to happen. Why would you want any team to achieve something that's taken 130 years to get to?
It's weak mentality.
What's weak mentality?
them trying saying that, oh, it's okay, City do a 4-peat. It is weak mentality accepting that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's for me, it's all about like how many trophies you win, stroke records that you set. And it's like when Liverpool were about to do a quadruple, I was cacking myself because they'd be the first to do it. So that shows the whole treble thing weren't bullshit when I said, well, we were first. They'd be the first to do it. And there's something about being the first. And it meant Liverpool would have completed football first. So I just don't see how anyone who's views City, we are all rival.
Tell me as a Chelsea fan. Tell me as a Chelsea fan why I should want Liverpool or Arsenal to win this league over Man City in a logical way. Why I should want them and not Man City.
I thought I just gave the logical way. I understand you've got rivalries with those clubs that are deeper. I understand that. My rivalry with both those clubs personally is also deeper. Liverpool might have biggest rivals. City are massive rivals, but the Premier League era for me, my age group, Arsenal are massive. But like I've said, I don't want any team in England having a record that I believe is almost completely unattainable for me to see in my lifetime. So Liverpool, by the way, matching Man United on league titles, it's not inconceivable we can go one ahead of them again. It's more likely that Chelsea catch Man United and Liverpool's total trophy haul in the next 100 years than it is you ever doing a 4-peat. So for me, if a team's up for doing a quad, a treble, a 4-peat, or a quad and a 4-peat and a quad, sorry, a 4-peat and a treble at the same time, there should be no reason why anyone who views their club as a winning club, there should be no reason on earth why any of us want them to achieve that, because it puts them at the pinnacle. You would sit around having debates in 30 years. My team's big for this, my team's big for that. They'll be able to go 4-peat and treble, and you're done in the argument. So no one should want it, bruv.
But Terry, you're making a mistake. Terry, you're making a big mistake. Terry, you're making a big mistake. You said winning. Terry, you said winning. These mans are 10th. These guys are losers. They're not winning anything. They're 10th. So they don't care.
We're losers, but you haven't beaten us this season.
Patrick, you know we took a European trophy away from you guys, right? You do know that, right?
We own your soul. We own your soul.
You do know that, right? We took away a European trophy from you guys. You do know that, right? KDB coming off in the final. Allow it, bro. Yeah, have some respect.
Okay.
You know it's because we're 10th right now. People are talking a little bit too much. Have some respect for Chelsea, bro, because we can still put trophies. We can still put trophies on the table.
Guys, I want to say this, by the way. Yeah? You know, the other day on Top 6 where Don was like, don't do me like that, Terry, when I said he finds these subtle ways of backing his team and then goes, no, I didn't. You just see it there, ladies.
No. Terry, I'm talking about the disrespect here coming from Patrick talking about Chelsea as if we're some little boy club. Like we
just said you're 10th. That's what he said. Stradball Steve, I know you want to say something, bro. You're right, my man. Go on.
Mute.
You're on mute, bro. You're on mute now.
Mute.
Oh, my bad. All right. My biggest takeaway, I think, this is so eerily similar to when we drew at Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle, in that 1-1 draw. Very similar. Very, very similar. Because, like, we, scored the goal early. Chelsea scored first, defended a 1-0 lead to the very end. And it was just like, in those final few minutes, just a goal gets by. And, as a football fan, people felt gutted for Newcastle. Some people, didn't. But definitely as a football fan, you gotta feel gutted for Chelsea. For me, that's I'm sure you guys know that, I watch a lot of football, and for me, that Disasi performance today, that's the best I've seen of the year. Out of all the football I've watched, all of it. 10 out of 10. I thought he made 6, 7, 8 like unbelievable clearances. Malo Gusto as well was just, wow, what a player.
Steve, just on that, Disasi. He made 16 clearances against Man City, the most by a Chelsea player in the Premier League game in the last 8 seasons. 8, bro.
He made how many? He made how
16.
many?
16 clearances. Yeah.
Wait, did that bring you to the top of the table?
No, stop.
They got some point. Hey, you're a clown.
Patrick, are you top of the table, Patrick?
The class clown. You're the class clown. Yeah.
You're not top of the table either.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
And the other thing, real quick, was I thought the players 1,000%, and Poch up until the subs earned that 3 points 100%. Like defensively, the counterattack goal was brilliant. I know you might not rate Jackson, some people don't, but link up play, I think he's a very good player. The pass to Sterling was exquisite. Sterling had some few rough touches in there, but did well to just chop back and finish. brilliantly.
Not chop. No, it wasn't a chop back. It's called a chop. And no, what is it that Daniel Sturridge called it? He said a chop.
Chopski.
No, a chop and a whipski and a whipski.
Yeah, there you go. It was a sick goal. Counter-attacking goal. Classic.
Yeah.
But I thought, the goal was phenomenal. But the problem is, I think the players definitely, they earned that point 1,000%. I don't actually mind the Chalobah sub. I was on a watch along with my buddies, and I said I wouldn't be surprised if Chalobah comes on. But I didn't like, if I was a Chelsea fan, I wouldn't have liked that sub for Palmer. Because if you notice, there was no outlet down the right. And I thought Palmer, again,
I think
what a good team player.
I think they were worried. I think they were worried Palmer might get booked again because he was already in the yellow card. And they might say that on Caicedo.
Yeah,
but there's more chance of the way they were going to the wing that they were going to get fouls that way instead of centrally.
That makes
credit
to Chelsea, man. They turned up and they battled against obviously a phenomenal team.
It's all right, Man City can't beat 10th place teams. You will know that this season.
Please, I'm gonna have to jump. I've got to jump into some of these super chats because there's 50 of them, and it's gonna be a long time. This here says easy win, right? I want an apology. Only Chelsea fans that said we would get a result. Yeah, I mean, in fairness, me and Don did the Rumble show, and we both said like could be a draw. And someone actually tweeted earlier saying Terry said that Chelsea had no chance. I'm like, you didn't watch my shows if that's what you're lying about.
Nah, Terry definitely said we can draw.
Yeah, I know. We even tried to convince Nina on the Top 6 show that you could get a result. So Ten Hag was right about us. First time this season we've seemed to enjoy defending again. Yeah, okay, I really miss that mentality from Chelsea. It's been years. As Guna, glad it finished a draw. Well done, Chelsea. But
Poch
is a donut. Setting up for the 20 minutes defensively was suicidal. He got lucky today, is what MB said. Nini's with us. Do you think Poch got lucky by going defensive for the last 20 minutes?
Yes, you guys, how you all doing? You know what? I've been thinking about this. Yeah, obviously the part of me is like, you're suffering in the game. You're looking on the bench. You're seeing Mudryk. You're seeing Madueke. But if I'm being honest, now that I'm thinking about the game again, I feel like Poch was right. I feel like it clearly says something about the fact that he can't trust Mudryk and Madueke to come on and affect the game and keep the team balanced. And I think you got to see it like this too. Like you got to look at how the team are performing. And if the team are more comfortable, dropping their lines, sitting deeper, you got to protect their instincts, right? So I do feel like in hindsight, it's probably the right decision. And I think, listen, against City, it's going to be like a game of gambles in a sense, right? And I feel like our best moment to try and get a result in the context of that game was to sit deep and hope we could ride it out to the end. And the fact that I took a deflective goal from City, of course, it hurts a bit. But honestly, in hindsight, I think that was the only approach to try and get something from that game. And with the performances I saw today, I think,
Nah,
you have to just help the boys.
I've got to disagree, man, because it's not like at that point we were being bombarded by City. Like when we was on the ball, we were still looking quite threatening. But what he did that second half, he took away any chance of us playing our game. Like Steve said before he left, we had no Palmer on the right. We had no width in a Sterling. At least bring on Mudryk on that side, or switch it up like that. Bring like for like. We just went a little bit too negative, and there was nothing. Every time we got the ball in the midfield, who they're going to play it to up there? There was no one apart from Nkunku.
I wouldn't trust Mudryk to keep a password, let alone a ball.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah. You can't be saying that because against Man City when we played them. Hold on, Andrew. Listen, with Mudryk, I know he's had games where he's been crap. But let's not act as if even against Man City when we played them at the Bridge, he was good. When he played against Arsenal, he was good. Mudryk knows how to retain the ball when he's having a good game. But when he's having a shit game,
when he's having a good game. When's the last time he had a good game?
For you to say shit,
in a very long time.
The lack of options that really killed him was another midfield option to bring on. Yeah. That's what really killed him. And because you can't even say Lavia's injured all the time, no Butcher's injured. There was no that type of midfield option. I think I don't think he goes for it at the back. I think he does something and does it that way. That's what I think.
I hear you on that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with
that's what I said earlier. But it's really hard. It's like, what do you? Am I back? Sorry, I don't know. Sorry.
Yes.
I don't know if it's like going away.
You're gone, bro.
Yeah, he's done
this
now.
guy freezing or it's just me?
Drop in. Track back. We'll do some more of these super chats here. This is an interesting one. It says KDB and Erling Haaland are just stat merchants. Obviously a slight dig. Edison didn't save you. Jackson is just crap. There's an element of truth to that. But again, his overall play, I don't think it's that bad. It's just
it's finishing. It's his finishing, bro.
Gusto is easily the best under 21 right back in the world.
Oh, here we go.
Facts.
Oh shit. Facts.
Here
we go. Let's move on from this because
he's very good. Listen, I know he's only played a handful of games, but I'm frank. I hate doing this because he's a scouser, but I'm throwing Connor Bradley into that mix. I'm not going to lie.
Thank you. He's good. Bradley seems better.
He's good.
I know. And then there's... Personally, I think Man City celebrated too much at the draw. Had no energy left for the win. That was... Like, did you see Rodri punching himself in the head? He was going mental. I didn't hear Carragher have a go at him or anything, saying get back to the corner spot. It's only a goal. Do you know the centre spot?
He celebrated while going back to half. Don't do that, Terry. Cool, I know, joke. I got you.
I don't know about you North Americans and sarcasm. It doesn't always land right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't. It takes time. Yeah.
You know what I mean? In about 6 hours, we'll be sitting there eating dinner and we'll just start laughing and go, "Oh my god, I get it." City fans are talking about Doku getting double teamed. Welcome to Saka and Martinelli's life every week. Very true. Carl Walker thought he was the Rock after he got stone cold stunned. It was like that. It was so embarrassing what he did on the floor the way he flipped it. Like my 3-year-old boy does it. Hamza is back with waffling mode. Yeah, Hamza. I love Hamza though. Kovacic versus Arsenal at the Emirates. Yes, that was a terrible decision by the ref. 3 years ago, City cheated Everton, Arsenal, and Wolves out in 2001, and the one that should have been a pen, you wasn't complaining then. Thank you, Nav. I actually thought they were going to give that penalty to me. I thought they were going to give the handball near the end. I thought they were going to give the handball at the end because it was taking a long time. And I was like, they're going to do it. And it's going to be controversy. Penfold there. Oh, who's he calling Penfold? Must be Hamza. Said, no way Arsenal will beat City at the Emirates. Most looking forward to that one. If all three stay fit and focused. Yeah, listen, this title race is going to be amazing. Penfold, you know. Haaland got away with going at the ref's face. Yeah, I remember. Oh, do you remember that? Yeah, screaming in his face. He basically headbutted him. I remember that. Sarcasm again. What about Kovacic not being given a second yellow? Yeah, that was criminal. Hamza, you fraud. Liverpool get the most VAR decisions against them. What about who's EH? Erling Haaland misses so many. It was mad he's misses today. I have to say that the chances he missed, he normally buries.
That's one of the worst Haaland games I've ever seen in his career. Salzburg, Norway, Dortmund, Man City. That's one of the worst. And I think that will be one of the worst looking back.
It's amazing. You know, you ever seen the film Hancock?
Yeah.
Hancock, Will Smith. And as soon as both those superheroes are near each other, one starts losing their powers.
Kryptonite.
So now that Højlund started scoring, right?
Don't do this.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
He had an XG of 1.7 today, Haaland.
Wow, that's really high. It's really, really high.
That's more than the entire Chelsea team, just so you know.
And yet you still couldn't beat us. It's all good.
You couldn't? No.
I think it was cursed by Nunez scoring a 1-on-1.
Let's have a look at some of these super chats. Walker stuck his leg into Sterling from the side without getting the ball, and that's supposed to be a penalty. He was nowhere near the ball. What's your take on that? Sorry, Sai, because obviously you think that was a penalty. What's your response to this super chat?
Nah, that was not a penalty.
As I said earlier, I thought
there's two sides. That's why. Sorry, there's two sides on the show. Sorry, there's two sides here.
There's another side. Who's the other side?
In the red hat.
There's another side? Oh, wow.
No, that's just his pronunciation of my name.
Oh, have I said it wrong again? Sorry, Bob.
Yep.
What's the pronunciation?
S-I together in England, we'd say Sai. How do I say it right? Tell me how to say it right.
Sia.
Sia.
Oh, I remember that. Sia. I was like, Sia. I'm gonna get it right in my head. Like, that's how I remember. No, but that's how because I'm dyslexic. When I'm reading like learning names of new players, and I like get it spelled out or I get it sounded out online, I often write it how it sounds as opposed to the actual letters because that helps my dyslexic brain. So, see ya, I got it. Sorry, back to you, Si.
As I said earlier, I thought it was a penalty. He pushes in front of Sterling and then he hits him on the back of the leg. I think it's a penalty. I think we had a case with where Chilwell pulled down Haaland and when the hands. I've seen all three of those situations been given early in the season. So it's just about,
Let me tell you that Erling Haaland one. Let me tell you the Erling Haaland one. He started that one just like in the game against the Stamford Bridge. That shouldn't have been a penalty. That should have been a foul to us right away.
He ran away from Chilwell. Come on, look back at it.
Erling Haaland, when he's close to the defender, when he's close, he will leave his right arm there and drag onto the defender like that. He does it all the time, and he should be punished more. That's a foul to the defender all the time. Okay?
Look at that action again today.
I will look at action again.
Do it. I've seen it 2 times now. That's not what happened. I can agree with you. No. Today, no. I've seen it twice.
Not today.
Last time, I will agree with you. Dude, you haven't watched it back. How can you say that?
I've watched it back.
No, it's okay. We know we're not going to get the calls, and we'll just move.
Yeah, come on. You just said you didn't watch it back. Then you can't
I never said that. I said I did watch it back.
Why you guys?
We'll move on with some more super chats here, just because there's still 32 of them, and I've got my babysitter time's run that soon. I've got to get back to the kids. Or I could leave the kids alone for a few hours. They've got a German Shepherd to look after him now. He'll do a good job. My Rocky, he won't. He won't. He's scared of my dog, right? I bought this German Shepherd to be a guard dog. And I know he's only 5 months old, but so far, he's scared of the dark. If I try to take him for a walk at night, he does that. You know when dogs do that weird walking backwards thing? I'm like, you're meant to be a guard dog and you're scared of the dark. Do you know what I mean? I have to leave a light on for him at night as he cries. It's crazy. Anyway, guys, end of the story. We are not putting the balls in the net. Accept the draw and move on. That's from Coolhead Blue. Thank you very much, my friend. Honourable mention to Chilwell. Did a good job on Foden. Do you agree with that, Nini? I mean, he's had a lot of stick recently, Foden.
Yeah, it's a solid all-round performance from the whole defense today. In this game today, there's no one I fault for the valiant efforts today. Listen, Foden was a bit quiet. I think City were really playing towards Doku a lot more. And I think I'm going to flip the question a bit. I think this is why Malo Gusto was absolutely phenomenal today, because I could have sworn throughout the game today, like half the game was just played down that side the whole game. Just Doku up against Gusto. And the fact that Gusto at 20 years old, concentration from the first minute to the last minute, 9 out of 13 duels completed, the Doku's 3 out of 10. He was there from the start. He nullified him completely. And I'm just thinking,
Leon, Malo,
absolutely unreal.
You didn't say completely, though, isn't it? Because he got done a few times.
Yeah, but that was a good battle.
Yeah,
unless you're watching the game like this with one eye like this, because I saw him getting done.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 times, but it's Doku.
No, more than 1 or 2
and the majority, he was on top. Majority of the time,
it was a good
you
battle.
gotta keep it real. You gotta keep it real. Majority of the time,
you can't expect perfection all the time. Like
exactly. Yeah. How many fullbacks in the league?
Ultimately, they're going against 2 top players.
Patrick is just here today, playing devil's advocate. Yeah, I mean, he's grown his beard even longer as well. He should be like laughing and like on his beard. That's what he's doing today. Justice would be City never getting another call in their favour again. No, that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh, Ollie. Can't we get a steal of Maguire kicking Reece James in the balls? I mean, yeah, that was a foul. Like Maguire, he definitely did it to Reece James, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I already done that super chat. This one here, if the Walker incident was in the other box, it's a pen for Chelsea. 100% foul on Walker.
Absolutely not.
I think it's
be honest, Chelsea fans. Be honest.
Yeah, be serious with saying, man. Come on.
Yeah,
be
you
serious,
City fans,
man.
be honest. That wouldn't have been called in for Chelsea either. So don't even. Exactly.
Okay.
I just think everybody cries. Everybody cries when the pen is against them.
Everybody cries sometimes.
Everybody wants to rule the world. Yeah.
Is that a different song?
Yeah, it is. I was just ignore me. Go on, keep doing this thing.
I was like, wow, what fucking song's that? Didn't LB? Oh, didn't LB say City fans don't worry about the refs? Brandon and I were always told we get on with it and stop moaning about the refs. Funny that.
Yeah, we did.
LB did say that. To be fair, LB did say that. LB's right, and LB is the representative of all City fans.
Oh yeah, we voted him for president. We voted him as our president. Thank you.
See, Pep is like Hamza when things don't go his way. He cries like a little girl.
No, I don't hold that against it. Michael Jordan ain't a good loser. Patrick Mahomes is not a good loser.
Yeah.
Was Sir Alex ever a good loser? No.
Mourinho too.
I'm an awful loser.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm the worst.
You have
I'm
to
the
be. You
worst.
have to be.
Yeah, I like being a bad loser. I like my little hour of being grumpy. Like, let me be
So
grumpy.
is that why you patronize Sava?
Who said that? Who said that? It was Sia. That's why I patronize Sava. Yeah. This fraud has zero zilch ball knowledge and makes a post-match panel discussion a soap opera. But here, what can you say? Every stream needs a clown.
Definitely.
That's Hamza or me.
Hamza.
Oh, I think he means he's either saying I'm a clown, but I make a panel show. And I think he's mean. But this is the thing. I'll say this: like the football. Do you know every week I must get at least one message, if not 100, about some people about don't have this person back on. I'll get a message about all the panel tonight say don't have them back on. The answer is no. Like, variety is the spice of life. You don't need to be a big YouTuber or a celebrity to come on the football terrace. That's really never been my way. And trust me, if I had everyone had the same thought, same feeling, same perspective of football, football terrace would still be sitting there on 7,000 subs doing zilch, brother. So I appreciate your opinion. I respect the super chat, but variety is the spice of life, my friend. Tony here says this City fan is new to winning. So much complaining. Continue to do your talking on the field. You sound super nervous having to keep pace. Glory, Man United. Thank you, Tony, me old mate. You guys don't see what Hamza is doing. He is saying everything except Chelsea should have won that game. Chelsea FC, no, going to get Poch sock. He means a sack. Do you feel you deserve to win it, Nini? What are you saying, bro?
I mean, honestly, I think we did. Listen, you're playing against Man City. You're playing for finer margins. Yeah, the level of performance you need to get a win against the champions, one of the best teams in Europe. You have to play smart. And I think on top of that, we're playing against Liverpool next week. This is going to be our approach to this game. So we need to start getting used to how to play in the big games and get the team confidence. So I think today, I've got no faults with anyone in this team today. I respect Man City a lot. I respect the best teams in the world because that's the level we're trying to get back onto again. And the fact that we denied them, we made them suffer, and we made it difficult for them, considering the circumstances of our season, I'll take it. You know what I mean? Listen, different seasons, hopefully, like I'd want us to play a bit more aggressively. But for the context of this season, I understood why Poch decided to sit deep and play this way because I think that's the best way we're getting a result today, in my opinion.
I think if we're being honest, Haaland on a normal day takes at least one of those chances today.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he takes one of those chances. So for me, I take the point. Like I said before, going to City now is the highest compliment I think I can play them. It's like going to Pep's Barcelona or Old Trafford under Fergie in the old days. You take anything that you can grab at this time. And taking a point 2 hours ago, I think most Chelsea fans were thinking, okay, we're going to have to do a stream where we're going to lose by 2 or 3 goals.
Facts.
You know what I mean? How's it going to help us in the cup final coming up?
As City fans, we expect to get the best shot from any club coming to us, right? We're gonna get their best effort because
take it as a compliment.
Yeah, European English champions.
Yeah. I thought Chelsea could have been valued.
We should.
Sometimes it isn't about. It's not even about having the most amount of shots. I think or most amount of possession. It's. I look at it as who created the gilt-edged chances. And I think the really close gilt-edged chances were very even between both teams today. And, you know, if it wasn't for some of the Ederson saves and some of the great blocks by the Chelsea defenders, it could have been a high score for either team, really. So it was relatively fair, but yeah, it was a very good game to watch. This is... yes, brother.
Can I just add to what Nini said? I hope I got your name correctly. With how Poch set up today, he made sure that City got no spaces in between the lines. And I feel like if Chelsea set up that way against us next week, it is going to be long, especially with the injuries that we have. Mm-hmm. So I kind of hope that Poch learned no lessons from this game because I feel like he took his coat off of City's neck a bit. Because if in the second half you would have brought on guys like Madueke and I don't know if Ukraine Bolt was on the bench, I didn't really check.
You
yeah.
can.
Yeah, he is. He was.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. I like
Keep
that. I bet
going,
you
bro.
do. He learns from it.
Terry, what I will say, and I know Patrick's a bit banter. We'll say Patrick is right. We have seen this from Poch multiple times this season, where we get a good result, and then the next one he totally changes things. Do you know what I mean? I just wanted now to see. Don't do what you did at Palace in the first half. Go with what you went today, and do that from now on. Because defensively today we were better, and that's what I've wanted all season. Just set us up to get to goal, and then those guys up front, it's on them to put the ball in the net. That's all you see.
As much as you see, Terry, as much as I throw banter into this thing, and I know that I wanted to relax on the other guy. I don't know, is it Don because his head was popping? You can see the vein was in the middle of his head popping. It's just. I Terry, unlike other people, which I've noticed in the group, I'm a group of friends. My brother's a United fan. He only watches the United games, and my friend is an Arsenal fan. They only watch Arsenal games. I watch every single game. So I've been watching Chelsea. Chelsea have issues with finishing. Sometimes they play good football, but the issues with finishing. But the issue they have is Pochettino. He will do something great, and then you're like, oh my God, Chelsea's back. Hope you do this. Then he'll go and just
and do something. There's a lack of consistency. I agree. Liverpool are scared of a mid-table team. All right, then Luigi, concentrate on looking after your brother Superman. He's calling Matt Luigi. That's actually quite funny. It does look a bit like Luigi with the mustache. In my opinion, City has a tougher opposition ahead when compared to Liverpool and Arsenal. They play Man United, Liverpool, Villa. Man United, Liverpool, Villa, Arsenal, and Tottenham. Not my favourite to win the league. It's Liverpool or Arsenal. I mean, it's a fair opinion. And Liverpool do have a 4-point lead right now. And they've won it before. Haaland missed 50 big chances in 1.5 seasons. He's missed 66 in eight years. People always dick riding Man City players. Doku crap. Without Rodri, there will be 10. Listen, one of the greatest strikers to ever play football for this country and in the world his name was, and Spurs and Chelsea, you know who he is, was Sir Jimmy Greaves. Yeah. And I was very fortunate to meet him. My dad did an event once, and he was there doing some speaking. And he said that if he'd have scored the goals he missed, and by the way, this guy was one of the highest goal scorers ever to this day in the whole of football. He said, if I scored the goals I missed and missed the goals I scored, I'd have had 5 times as many goals in my career. So it's so normal for me. I think, again, we start to analyze things in a way
and also, Son has played the majority of his career on the wing. Okay, he's played it on the wide position, not straight up centre forward. He only started doing it this season when Harry Kane was injured. He's played mostly on the wing. Okay, and Haaland got 50 goals last season. He can miss all those chances and still get 50 again.
What game was you watching? Everything came from Doku. He was amazing today. Haaland Alvarez was okay against us. Can't fault Foden today. That is from Leng and Sweet. Thank you, bro. Can't remember the last time a player got so much shit as Jackson. Hold up, pressing, dribbling, diamond in the rough. Don't sleep on him. He's only 22.
Nah, let's be serious. The guy is ass. Straight dude. Sorry for
my but what do you not like about his game? What do you think he needs to add to his game?
Let me explain. Do you know what football IQ is?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I think Jordan. I'm sorry. This might sound bad. Jordan. I think the reason why he's like Timo Werner. Pace causes trouble. Nothing. I know the pass he did, but guess what? I used to play football. I was a shit footballer. I had few assists, and I was lucky sometimes. And I went to the dressing room. I was like, "Wow, did I do that?" Jackson. I don't think if Chelsea and Chelsea fans, if you don't admit this, then I think you guys are mid-table and low. Jackson, right? If you guys fix your team, I wouldn't imagine that Jackson will be part of that fixed team. He's not good enough. That's poor. That opportunity he had, take it first time. Pick a spot, take it first time and finish it.
Really?
But guess what? He takes the time.
I can't agree with that. I
think Jackson could be a good squad player.
Gusto had to play that pass
when he tried to take
time.
the ball from the top? When they hit the ball for him, he tried to control it. He couldn't do it.
Listen,
Jackson,
I'm going to
what you
compare
have to
him.
do in that moment, you play it in front of your man.
Only 30 minutes.
Listen, in that moment right there, if you're Nicholas Jackson, all you're thinking about in your head is your placement. If your service is shit, you're thinking more than you have to do, and the ball was behind him, so it killed his momentum completely. And it was unlucky from Gusto. Obviously, the first touch is normally on point from this guy. It just fun with it. It happens, you know what I mean. But I'm not blaming Jackson for that, especially when Haaland today.
So you're telling me Jackson is the
simple, you know?
Guys, just because I have really got to shoot in a minute, I've got to get through the last of these super chats. I'm really sorry. Really sorry, James. I'd love to sit here all night, but daddy duties. If you've never watched Hamza, then you'll not understand how fraudulent he sounds after cooking Arsenal fans and referee excuses. That's why, you know, it's funny. Like, if you don't watch enough of his content, you don't sometimes people get a lot of crap for things they've said that are not even on this. I had a friend once who said to me, some of you guys are a bit harsh to the gal, right? And I said, based on what? And I gave him some examples. Then I started showing them things that he said in group chats and videos he sends people and how he trolls them. And they were like, I get it now. And I'm like, yeah, there's a wider picture going on here that you don't always get to see. I can't read that name. What's that saying?
Cassidy
is a goal threat and has the height on Gilchrist. Your criticism is misguided. I mean, I thought that was a risk bringing him on that late in such such a difficult place, but you know, it worked out in the end, didn't it? Kai Havertz is waiting for Doku and Grealish to come outside. Arteta strikes again. Come on, you gooners! It is going to be mad for Chelsea fans if Kai Havertz is part of a winning Premier League title team this year, and he has played some good games. It's going to be an interesting conversation online. Patrick, these Chelsea fans know their team is mid, but you still were lucky to draw with them twice this season. City looks shaky, and you are all deflecting. If Pep does the 4P and back-to-back trebles at the same time, he cements himself as the best manager in Premier League history. Ends the debate for me. Exactly. I mean, he may very well do that, and that's why I don't want him to do it as a United fan, because my guy's there. But it also means, in my opinion, that no manager you guys have ever had or are likely to have is ever going to be the GOAT. So why do you want it to happen? That's why I can't fathom people backing City to win. It's weird to me. I respect that you guys see it differently, though. As a Chelsea fan, in case anyone thinks I'm condescending or patronising,
I was going to say that. I did feel
or whatever else. I got called a bully today. I got called a bully because I asked questions. Someone said he shouldn't challenge people's opinions, Terry. It's bullying. I'm like, if you think challenging opinions is bullying, you're going to struggle in life, my friend. As a Chelsea fan, I always wanted City to win the league, but because of these plastic City fans, Patrick, I want Arsenal or Liverpool to win it. We wasn't lucky for once.
Derry,
go on, bro.
When I see such comments, my job is done and I'm satisfied. I'll sleep like a baby. I love such comments.
We wasn't lucky for once. We held off City, though. It's City 86 minutes to finally score. If anything, City was lucky today. City were piss poor. And I've also said City is easy to work out if you hold the midfield. City are fucked. That's all you have to do. And City, I mean, when you say that's all you have to do, it's a hard thing to do. It's like trying to put toothpaste back in the tube, bruv. It's a hard thing to control Man City.
We did it brilliant. We did it brilliantly for about 55, 60 minutes, and then we just went backwards. That's the point. You've got to do it like in the first game we did it against them. That's what you've got to do the entire game.
I want to thank everyone who's tuned in. I want to thank all of the super chatters, everyone who's hit the like button, to all of my panel tonight. It's been an amazing show as ever. Back tomorrow with fan channel review in the morning at some point when I get up. UFC tonight, so be getting a little bit of a late night. Big night tonight. Come on, Volkanovski. I want you to smash out the Spaniard. I think he's Spanish. He's been giving it the big one. You can't speak to a man like Volk like that. So watching
he's
that,
definitely a City fan. He's a City fan, so you wanted to knock him out, yeah?
Oh, okay, there we go then. Plus, of course, Man United Luton match reaction as well tomorrow, as we are going to close the gap on Tottenham and a Champions League spot. We're coming for you, baby. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless.